late-time heroics for San Antonio that earned them the draw, but a special match that was Mitchell Tanner, his 100th match played for San Antonio FC.
He really is San Antonio's key guy, the foundation of this team, one of the few returners for San Antonio FC this year. Defender of the Year in 2022. He's been first team All-League, second team All-League, and, of course, Marcina's not going to part ways with him.
Pretty cool. Prior to this match, he got a jersey with 100 across the back. A nice moment. Let's talk Switchbacks. It has been brutal for them playing here at Toyota Field, and they are going to try to find their first result for points this year here.
Right. They haven't won a game since March 22nd, 2019, and, of course, San Antonio, that scrappy team, they're hard to beat no matter what formation they're in, no matter what players they have on the field. They're always going to bring that mental toughness. So, it's going to be a good game. Of course, the Switchbacks are coming here with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Part of that is because Malik Foster, he's the guy, responsible for assists in one of the last goals against DCFC, and I know Marcina has his eyes on him.
It is always scrappy when these two teams get together. We've seen it in the playoffs. We saw it early last year, so it figures to be a fun one. This is the third match of the year for both of these teams. San Antonio looking for their first win, as is Colorado Springs. Switchback SAFC when we come back to Toyota Field. Gorgeous spring evening, 71 degrees here in San Antonio, Texas. Toyota Field, still early in this USL Championship season. Third match for both of these squads. The Switchbacks of Colorado Springs in town to take on the hometown San Antonio FC. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Tyler Denning, Katie Goodman. Young season, 2 matches thus far, 2-point results for San Antonio, but they could have been 2 wins.
Right, in that first game versus Loudoun United, Coach Marcina wasn't too happy. A red card for Loudoun. You thought they were going to win it. Instead, they came back and got a goal. On the flip side, for Tampa Bay, that one definitely was a winnable game as well. But he said he saw some better stuff, some better identity and culture of that usual San Antonio FC team. And if you look here, you've got Bora Nogueira scoring only a few minutes in. He received a pass from Cameron Lacey as well, a nice direct ball, and talk about timely substitutions. Great job there, and then off a service in. You have Carter Manley picking up the scraps, finishing the job. Nobody said the goal had to be beautiful, right? As long as you get it in the back of the net and you get it done.
Yeah, so it was some late-time heroics for San Antonio that earned them the draw, but a special match that was Mitchell Tanner, his 100th match played for San Antonio FC.
He really is San Antonio's key guy, the foundation of this team, one of the few returners for San Antonio FC this year. Defender of the Year in 2022. He's been first team All-League, second team All-League, and, of course, Marcina's not going to part ways with him.
Pretty cool. Prior to this match, he got a jersey with 100 across the back. A nice moment. Let's talk Switchbacks. It has been brutal for them playing here at Toyota Field, and they are going to try to find their first result for points this year here.
Right. They haven't won a game since March 22nd, 2019, and, of course, San Antonio, that scrappy team, they're hard to beat no matter what formation they're in, no matter what players they have on the field. They're always going to bring that mental toughness. So, it's going to be a good game. Of course, the Switchbacks are coming here with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Part of that is because Malik Foster, he's the guy, responsible for assists in one of the last goals against DCFC, and I know Marcina has his eyes on him.
It is always scrappy when these two teams get together. We've seen it in the playoffs. We saw it early last year, so it figures to be a fun one. This is the third match of the year for both of these teams. San Antonio looking for their first win, as is Colorado Springs. Switchback SAFC when we come back to Toyota Field.
Rico?
Are you seriously gonna have nachos for all?
Order Pizza Hut now and get a free large pizza later. That's a free pizza on your next order. So you can pizza now, then pizza again. Free pizza means your next dinner is covered. Your future self will thank you. Get it while it's hot. Only at Pizza Hut.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Yeah. Sick.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 36 months on a rugged new 2024 Tundra. Offer ends April 1st.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, sports fans. I'm Jeff Davis. Going head-to-head with insurance companies is no easy game. It requires determination, gamesmanship, and grit. That's why you need Davis Law Firm on your side. With over 25 years' experience, our team of around 150 in 7 Texas cities has a winning track record of verdicts and settlements, many in the millions of dollars. And just like your favorite team, we play to win. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or commercial vehicle accident, call us at 444-4444. So if you want more,
Both teams looking for their first win for San Antonio. It's a 0-0-2 start, 2 points, 2 draws, 4 goals that they have scored, 4 that they have allowed. For the Switchbacks, Colorado Springs 0-2-0. They've scored just 1 goal. And Katie, as we look at the starting lineup for San Antonio, change.
Yeah, small change is from Shannon Gomez. He's away on international duty playing with Trinidad and Tobago. So got a couple of guys that we've seen out here before. Nothing too crazy. Cameron Lacey up there in the top at in that striker position, and then of course Luke Hawkinson coming in. He's the guy who can kind of play it all. You know, you can put him anywhere on the field and he'll handle business.
And for the Switchbacks of Colorado Springs, who are you looking out for? Who's the number name to watch?
Well, Malik Foster, as we had mentioned, moving into this, and of course Speedy Williams. Everyone in the entire USL Championship knows about Speedy Williams. It's his aggressiveness on the ball, his ability to dribble at players, and of course he's in the center of the park, so he's just a key distributor for them too.
Yeah, Devin Williams, a.k.a. Speedy. I would think that you got some wheels if your nickname is Speedy. We are underway on a gorgeous night. Pretty good breeze, not too hot, not cool. Perfect weather to usher in this third match of the season for both these squads.
That's a rarity here in Texas. Usually it's raining or it's freezing or it's hotter than you can mention. And so it's kind of just nice to have a pretty day of soccer.
Showed you in the open, but for San Antonio, it was a 2-2 draw against Loudoun United, as you mentioned. That showed you the 2-2 draw against the Rowdies of Tampa Bay. That first ball served in, poked out. So early pressure for San Antonio.
Not unexpected, I'm sure. Just because you kind of change up the formation a bit doesn't mean you're not going to let go of that high press mentality, that aggressive mentality that Marcina likes to preach.
It's Christian Herrera in the red goalkeeper jersey for the Switchbacks.
Not only that, there's a crosswind out here tonight, so that might complicate things. If trying to put it up in the air, it might help you to get backside if you need.
Crosswind coming from far towards us, right?
Towards us, yeah, towards the booth. Don't ask me what's north, south, east, or west. Don't put me on the spot like that.
I think that it's a southwest wind.
There you go. Weatherman over here.
It's coming from the southwest, shooting to the northwest. Shot by the Switchbacks. That one ricochets out of bounds off of Burks. For Colorado Springs, they began their season 2-0 loss at Miami FC, then went home. A 2-1 result against Detroit City. Their lone goal on the year scored by Mahoney. As you see, Alan Marcina. This has been a great place for his team to play over the years, especially against this Colorado Springs team. The last 10 visits, 8 losses, 4 goals scored, only 2 points total for the Switchbacks. So as they try to find their first point-scoring result Katie, it's going to be a very tough place for them to do such.
That it is, but again, it's a whole new roster here for San Antonio FC. I mean, they've only kept about 4 returners. One of them is gone, the other not available either. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, how much the coach really does play a role in this, because you can put whoever on the field, but if you've got a really solid coach, sometimes you can make some really cool things happen. And then, you know, we've got a change in coaching staff as well for Colorado Springs Switchbacks. He went from assistant coach, stepped into the head coach position, whereas Coach Hogan went into the sporting director position. So lots of changes there. They've got their core returners, but they are missing Romario Williams. He's a big scoring guy, 15 goals from him last season. So
James
really and
Chambers,
truly, yeah,
now elevated, that head coach for Colorado Springs. Body dump to the pitch, and our first whistle, and it will be our first card, a yellow card shown for the challenge. That'll give Mitchell Tanner, who was, I believe, the one receiving. Did you catch who the official said? It was a point towards Tanner, the player still down on the pitch.
we'll have to see what happened there, but wouldn't be surprised if it's Mitch. He's quite an aggressive guy. I know there was a running poll last season to see who was going to get the first yellow. Mitch was typically always a contender in that, so
Just
know
just
about
before
all
we
that.
got there, it was Malik Foster, the aforementioned, who we talked about in the Open, the number to watch. That is the player that Coach Marcina had circled on his scout for his players to keep an eye on. So maybe San Antonio sending an early message. They'll be physical as Foster probes.
Right, I mean, you saw his ball handling skills there. You have to stay touch tight on him. He's a creator. He can also take you 1v1. Again, just a quality guy. He gets in, he gets out. He's everywhere. Jorge trying to bring it up the side and get back in it. Jorge Hernandez, another one of those guys, probably one of the best players on the San Antonio FC team. Had 10 assists last season, 3 goals. And then so far early on in the season has assisted in 3 of the goals that San Antonio FC has on the sheet so far. So, man, if he's around, you better watch out.
Love the point that you made earlier that you're not necessarily playing the name on the front of the jersey. In this one, it's the name on the back, as these teams still early in the season finding their identity, finding their play style, finding their chemistry together. So you can maybe discount a little bit the history that the Switchbacks have had here in San Antonio. But if you're San Antonio, you want to tap into that and say they don't win here.
Heck yeah, it gives you something to play for, but I'm sure they also have a lot more to play for, trying to prove a point out here. But, you know, that's something that actually Coach Marcina had said when right before that first matchup. You haven't had a chance to see anyone play. There's new rosters across the season. And so when you come into a situation like that, you just have to study the player themselves. How do they play? Where might a coach put them? And kind of it's your best guess.
Fans, we welcome you to the 2024 USL Kickoff presented by Terminex. Throughout the month of March, the USL will be kicking off across the country. Join us for all the action on ESPN and CBS Sports platforms. More coverage than ever for our league, our sport. So we are 6.5 minutes in. Really have seen just one decent opportunity for San Antonio thus far that was easily handled by Herrera in goal for the Switchbacks.
You know, so far this season, San Antonio FC, they've done really good between the box, not so much in the box, still trying to iron that out. Lost Santiago Patino to a trade to Ho Chi Minh, and so that's a big guy to lose up top. He was really responsible for a lot of goals in the playoffs in 2022, brought him in late into 2023, so it's a big loss for them.
How has San Antonio been in early games, too, creating opportunities, capitalizing on those? What's the start look like to you the first 2 matches?
That first match, it was good, not great in my opinion. There was a couple of pieces that could have been ironed out, but that's the way it is when you're first starting with a whole new squad. I think that's the expectation, so to speak. In that second game, things got a lot better. I was seeing a lot of good stuff from them. Of course, they were sitting back a bit, and then they kind of just started to find themselves a bit late in that second half. And you know, we've seen this with them before too, in previous seasons with other guys on the team. Late goal scoring team, don't ever count them out.
It was the late goals that we showed you, 83rd and 91st minutes. It was a late goal that got them. San Antonio, hurt by such in their season opener, surrendered in the 94th. Fans wanted a foul, dropping to the pitch, being clipped on the back heel.
I'd say chip on the back heel constitutes a foul for sure. But we'll have a look. Let's see. He takes the turn. Might have been intentional.
It was Luke Hackinson, one of those new names, new faces for San Antonio.
Really one of the more interesting players to me here on this team, because you can put him anywhere and he can handle it, whether he's on defense, on the left side or the right side. You see a lot of times Marcina makes changes and he just moves Hawkinson to another side of the field, a whole nother position. That's hard as a player to just switch on and off into a different role right in the middle of the game. And so quite the utility player, someone I'm sure they're probably also going to hold on to for quite a bit of time.
Hails out of Maple Grove, Minnesota, played at Creighton University, Independence of Charlotte, USL, Nashville SC. Talked earlier about SAFC wanting to send a message with their physicality, but it seems to be reciprocated on the other side by the Switchbacks thus far. Another opportunity that crosses in, but deflected out. Another body, another whistle. Foul on San Antonio.
Mohamed Omar had a goal in preseason, second half of their final game against Antigua. Out here getting a start in center middle of the field. Let's see what he does there. Yep, hands, bear hug. Bear hug's going to get called all day long.
Good pass, clear shot at goal. That was a beautiful look and some pace on that ball that sails just wide, but first great scoring opportunity for the Switchbacks.
Yeah, let's have a look back at that. He takes it up the middle. Great pass, wide open shot, just shy of the post. And I think that's one of the best looks we've seen this game.
Turnover deep in the attacking zone as the Springs showing some gusto early on. The attacking third.
Going back to that shy miss earlier, Coach Chambers had said that that was kind of the thorn in their side. There's been a lot of opportunities they've left on the table, and I think that's another one that they're going to add to that storyline. But still, tons of time here. It's only a little over 10 minutes in. And from what I'm seeing, San Antonio's doing a great job getting up the field, not so much getting into the attacking third. So again, you got to see what they can do here in the box. And that Detroit City FC game, they gave up a goal. The first goal they gave up was off a corner. A lot of times that happens because everybody is so new out there in the back line. And they just can't read each other as well. And so when the ball gets moved around, it's hard to follow.
It was Kinsey Herman earlier that had the good goal-scoring opportunity as a corner. Bouncing around off the head of a San Antonio defender and out of the box. But still the threat on for the Switchbacks. Mentioned just one goal that they've scored across their two matches thus far, but very much looking a attacking capable team early on here.
Right. I think the good thing from a coaching perspective, if you can get into scoring positions, that's great. Everything else you can kind of iron out. But if you're struggling to get into the attacking third to begin with, then you've got some questions.
Well, then when you get a look like Herman had, you got to capitalize.
Right. Right.
You're not going to get too many straight on, nobody in front of you defender opportunities. Another whistle, was too physical on the chase down.
Of course, San Antonio, not a fan. I mean, you can't do anything around here at Toyota Field without San Antonio giving you some crap. But, of course, we're going to get that one there. Just, it's a little bit of both. A little bit of a flop, a little bit of a chip.
Look of befuddlement from Cameron Lacey. We've seen him early on put on the wheels, try to chase a couple balls down the one earlier up the right side, that one up the left. Official sending Herrera back just a couple of paces. The goalkeeper trying to earn himself and his team some real estate.
Good on Mitch to see that one out.
How about the sunset tonight?
Oh.
It's a gorgeous evening. We saw the moon earlier.
Yeah.
Close to full.
Almost full moon. Got some peak clouds out there.
Do you like playing in weather like this?
Oh, it's amazing. I tell you that. It's the one thing I miss about soccer is that good weather soccer. Not so much the dying in the heat soccer.
Not the humidity
Yeah.
later in the season,
Yeah.
middle of the summer,
Yeah, or
sweltering.
Or trying to kick a ball in snow soccer. That one's also a strange phenomenon. I don't know
Switchbacks
how.
will run into that
Yeah.
on occasion.
I mean, why even play the game? That's the real question. It's just like, that's not real soccer. It comes down to just pure grit, mental toughness in those situations because you're not even really, I mean, maybe you could chip a ball in, right? But forget driven passes.
Best opportunity of the match thus far has come off the boots of Colorado Springs, but chance here. Lacey is defensed out. This ball is cleared all the way out past the midline. Nice passing to move it back forward and keep the threat on.
They really do have some quality possession out of the back, no doubt.
Give and go.
Of course, it's Jorge Hernandez. He's always involved to some degree. You can expect that. It's those diagonal runs, it's the distributions, just good stuff from him.
Team high 3 assists, the reigning championship golden playmaker. Had the club's single season assist record last season. Was named to the Week 1 USL Team of the Week. Jorge Hernandez. What do you want to see on this corner?
Blood and tears. Didn't happen.
Physicality, huh?
Physicality, yeah. You just got to man through it at times.
No finesse.
No finesse.
That was a little more finesse.
Yep.
Did get through, but nothing doing as San Antonio will reset. At this juncture in the year, how much does conditioning still play into a factor? Players still trying to get their legs?
Heck yeah. I mean, if you talk to a lot of coaches at this point in the season, you ask them, are they playing a full 90? And yes, they're out there for 90 minutes, but is it a quality 90 minutes? A lot of that comes down to conditioning. What have they done over the summer? How quickly have they gotten back into shape when they were in preseason? And it's tough, especially when there's a lot of transfers in and out and changes. You just don't get enough time with these guys to get the quality minutes and conditioning. And, of course, if you're a player in this league to begin with, you better be conditioning on your own because you never know when you could be traded or moved or any of that.
Yeah, all these players out here professionals, but I know for some, training camp means conditioning camp.
Yeah.
Some come in and they're already conditioned, but
I'm glad
it shows on the field.
Right. I'm glad that stopped at 2-a-days in college for me. I think that's the last time I've done some serious conditioning. I stick to yoga now.
Yeah. There you go. Flexibility is key at the age.
It is key.
If I can give you any
I know. I don't want
wisdom through age.
Don't want to fall and break a hip, you know.
Yeah. Keep that flexibility.
Some good movement around the back there. Kendall Burke, he's been such a quality guy for them. Marcina was saying it from the get-go. Without even having seen him play a ton with the squad, he knew he was going to be able to rely on him. And I think that's why we're seeing them move up the field so well, out of the back between Manley, Mitch, and Burke.
Delivered out to the right. Good service ball in, but the defense right there to deal with Hawkinson's attempt. It deflects off of his shin. Out of bounds off of Colorado Springs, so San Antonio can keep up the pressure in the attacking third.
Right. I mean, it was a great service in. That's kind of where you want it if you're coming in off a diagonal. There was just no one there really to receive it, kind of got caught looking. That's the kind of stuff they iron out as they move on into the season. You begin to read guys, you know, oh, he's in this situation. I know exactly what he's going to do, and I'm going to try to get there. I don't know if you noticed, but they've really slowed things down a bit this season. Last season, they had a much more direct approach all through the middle. And this season, you've even seen it at times, they're just stopping with their foot on the ball in the back, and it's because they're intentionally slowing it down, trying to create space in the midfield. You can see this here. He's going to take his time.
You know, we've seen kind of stylistically over the years, Coach Marcina, in adapting to the personnel. Used to be a slow, physical game. Teams knew when they played San Antonio what they were going to get, but then ramping that up and success coming with that as well. But
right.
now adjusting to whom he has and how they want to play.
Yeah, and that's such a challenge when you have a bunch of new guys, because all you can do is watch a ton of game tape. You have this player who has been put into a box on another team. You take them and you put them into that same box on this team, and then you decide, do they stay in that box? And that takes time to decide.
Yeah, there's only so much that tape can show you, and then also how you fit those pieces together. Good turn. Trying to fight through the three defenders was Lacey. So after a 2-3 minute sequence where the Switchbacks really had some pressure and opportunity, San Antonio has wrestled possession and made a subsequent push.
Doing a good job of it too. Last couple of games they have dominated in possession. It really, like, I'll probably sound like a broken record out here. It's the final third. They just got to figure that out. Again, it's tough when Patino has left. He was just the guy who could kind of take it on his own within any situation. Didn't really matter who's around him. You could transplant him onto any team. So now they're kind of looking for that lead guy. They're hoping that Juan Agudelo can be that guy.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Who can be the finisher? We know in Hernandez what they're going to get in terms of setting the table, but you mentioned Agudelo. Who else can fans expect? And when they watch San Antonio, can put the ball in the net.
We've got Cameron Lacey out there. I think he's more of a play creator. He knows how to get in behind the line, run, make those curved runs, distribute where he needs to, but not so much all the time attacking goal. It's so early for me to say, though, Tyler. Yeah. You know, anyone could emerge at this point, and that's the beauty of a whole new roster and a whole new coach, especially if you're a guy walking into this. You want to really just give your best no matter what. You want to try to get into that position that you want to be in. There's the players who they're happy to be on the field in the spot that you give them. There's other guys who want to be the number 9, the number 10, and all of that kind of shows through season.
Yeah, in a very long season, I think that can be lost sometimes. And what the objectives are for coaches, coaching staffs, players early in the season, what you return from last year, what you don't return, and what has been lost, and how you adapt. Abdul Nadaye, our referee for the night, who has so far run a pretty tight ship down on the field.
You kind of have to, knowing these two teams.
He's moved 2 balls back for both teams, and then really make sure that he's collecting order with another corner kick. Nothing doing again as this bounces into the stands. No souvenir there. You got to throw it back.
Just take it and run at this point. Just take it and run. Keep it. Watch the game on TV. Come listen to us.
Women's Empower Night here at Toyota Field. I know that it's been a very busy week for you. You've been hopping across sports, across roles. How's that been?
It's been amazing. I spent some time with the Austin Spurs doing sideline reporting, and then I did the pregame show with the San Antonio Spurs. They had a women's history.
Service ball is in, easily headed out. No blue jersey around.
Yep, so they had a women's history broadcast. Of course, I wanted to hold that thought till don't want to talk over a potential goal, but no goal there. So, yeah, it's been amazing. And then, of course, I'm doing San Antonio FC here today. I'm doing baseball tomorrow for University of the Incarnate Word. just calling all kinds of sports, staying busy, that's for sure.
Well, it's nice to have you here on your wheelhouse sport,
Yes,
the one
yes.
that you know well. And it was great to see the all-female crew.
Yeah,
work with?
Shelby Coppage, Erin Carreno. I mean, amazing ladies, extremely talented, and really did work so well together. A lot of changes to that pregame show. We all kind of got through it, and
live TV.
Yeah, it's live TV, baby, and that was my favorite part about it, was how well all of us worked together, really and truly. And then, of course, just the Spurs Sports and Entertainment organization, always taking the time to highlight the ladies around the court, around the field. I was also part of the first ever all-female broadcast for the Spurs 2 years ago, so it was really an honor to be invited back. And so I'm hoping to, stick around more with the basketball stuff and the soccer stuff, get more out of my comfort zone, with basketball. It's still a space game to me. Kind of feels like small-sided soccer when I watch it. Just, you got to use your hands.
There's a bunch of
couple
seven-footers
different
and,
rules, yeah.
Wingspans of
Right.
9 feet.
Right, you've got aliens on the court, Wemby aliens. Man, I was out there on the court right before the game tipped off, and he was warming up and ran right by me, and I was literally half his size as a 5'1" person. So that was cool.
Impressive. I mean, in our sport here tonight, space is so key, but there is more space, but it's still equally fought after.
I feel like it doesn't hurt as bad when you fall on the ground here with the grass, but every time they fall on the court in basketball, I just wince. Just can't feel good at all. Have a replay. Ooh, a push from Jorge Hernandez there. Speedy Williams getting chippy. Seems like Jorge Hernandez kind of just fell over on that one. Here's another attempt. Hawkinson in. Just over the goal.
Okay, so we're 25 minutes in. What are you seeing good for both teams? First, start with that.
Yeah, so San Antonio FC, again, doing a great job moving through the midfield. I think it's that distribution there from Kendall Burks, Tainer, Manley, all of them there on the back line. But they keep going up that right flank. They keep trying to force it in. Yeah, they've come up a little bit on the left, but maybe it's switch up that approach a little bit. Try to move through the middle and then out and then back into the middle. Right now I feel like it's becoming a little bit easy to read.
How about for the Switchbacks?
Take advantage of those opportunities. I mean, they've done a great job to get into the attacking third. I think that's great news for them. Sometimes it's nerves, pressure, got to work on the muscle memory. Who knows? There's countless things that could happen when you're in the hot seat. Like getting laid out in this situation.
Another whistle. That'll be on Omar of SAFC's second yellow card that we see. That was a pretty good hip check he used to send Yosuke Hanyu to the ground. Hanyu had a good beat on the ball and was moving aggressively towards the box. And maybe the judgment call was good for Omar.
Right, we'll have to look back at this. I mean, he's en route to the goal. If you're going to body check him now, almost sandwiched too there by Carter Manley, but tough to body check them when they're in scoring position. That could have easily been a card there.
Yeah, and it was Hanyu that got by Agudelo with that initial move that earned him space. So the second yellow and a good opportunity earned on the coming free kick for the Switchbacks.
Quincy Queerman might be on deck. Queerman or
Right at the goalkeeper in that one. Easy work for Cisniaga.
great work there from Quincy Queerman. Coach had said that he was one of the guys who had a hand in the goal in the last game. Wants a start. He just got it here tonight. He's continuing to grow, has that growth mentality. And
just out
a
of
shy
Hawkinson's
miss.
leg. Let's look back at good look on goal.
It's got the bend, and great work there from Cisniega. When you see it up close like that, you realize he had kind of overcommitted. He had to come back to get his hands on it. He didn't deflect it either. He kept it within his reach. That's some good goalkeeping there. Maybe moving forward, try to be in better position, but it had such a bend on it. What can you do?
How's he been in goal this far this year?
Great, great. And he's another one of those guys that Marcina has talked about just being a game changer for them. I know a lot of San Antonio fans missing Jordan Farr. They had a chance to watch him in the previous game. Unfortunately, led up 2 goals versus his former team. But he's such a great character, Jordan Farr is. But you have Cisniega in here taking the reins, and coach thinks that he's a guy that shouldn't even be in this league to begin with.
Well, over the years, if there's one thing that you could count on, it was good goalkeeping here in San Antonio. So taking up the reins now, and kind of like seeing your ex out in public.
Right.
Having to play him early in the season.
Act cool, be cordial.
Yeah.
But take
Look
him
good.
out.
You look good, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Jordan, great character. Everyone in San Antonio knows it. And same with San Antonio FC. I mean, that's part of being a player in this league.
Whew. Long service ball and put right onto the head of Agudelo, just trying to redirect, but can't put enough pace on it to challenge Herrera.
Yeah, it was a bit of a strange position that he was in there, and strange cross in. Hard to just get the turn in the neck that he needed to put power behind it. Some great high pressure there.
Yeah, that challenge going in with the boots, but it kept the ball down here, at least momentarily. Really good response thus far from Colorado Springs. Maybe not as much mythology as you're seeing, the methodology that they're attacking with, but they've had an answer for everything that San Antonio feels like has tried to do thus far.
Right, very back and forth, and something I'm seeing similar to last season for San Antonio FC is that relentless mindset. They just keep hammering and hammering and hammering, and Colorado is building out under that pressure with a lot of quality, which I think says a lot about them. And they have possession here, a nice run in from Stevie Echeverria.
Jostling down by the corner, and whistles up, flags up. So San Antonio will be able to boot it out.
May have been an intentional foul there, just so he didn't get his team caught back on their heels. You know, you don't want someone to play a big ball out and big switch. San Antonio's kind of known for that. They love to get out in transition.
Mentioned the series history, 6 consecutive losses for Colorado Springs here at Toyota Field, but last year, the last meeting, October 21st, was a 1-0 victory for San Antonio. The match prior, the Springs, where it was played, it was 1-1 draw on September 9th. Prior to that, 1-0 for San Antonio, 2-0 for San Antonio, 1-0, as they have been good in this series. But early on, pretty evenly matched.
Right, and we're 30-plus minutes in, no substitutions yet. It's usually around the substitution hour here for soccer.
There's a good look. Just beating the attacker to the ball. Herrera just had the foot out in order to punch it and ricochet it off Lacey. It does go out of bounds.
We have got to see that back. Jorge throws it in. Lacey takes it on the turn. Very nice, but even better goalkeeping there from Herrera.
Yeah, Lacey did get there, but Herrera is in the right spot and able to redirect. Ball served on the ground as AFC will attack through the air.
Not a bad idea to paw it out there. Had quite a bit of traffic in his way.
Got a player down, so the training staff's being whistled in. Give the players a moment, maybe the official as well.
Yeah.
You know, the officials got to get in game shape.
Yeah, a little bit of a water break for everybody out here.
Yeah, you had said this around the juncture of a substitution that could maybe break up a little bit of the rhythm for the game, but you see a whistle and get some water. I think it was the ball up in the air. Herrera had wanted a call, I think, in being challenged with this ball that just lingered up in the sky for quite a bit.
Right, I mean, Agudelo went up too. He's holding his face. Looks like a collision on both parties. And that's just the way it is in the box. That's why I said blood,
tears,
sweat, and
is
tears,
said?
man. That's what I want to see in the box. That's just the way it is. It's what you sign up for. And
You'd use your pointy elbows.
oh yeah, my pointy little elbows. Well, I'm so short that I get everyone else's elbows. I gotta get them at the ankles.
You gotta fight from the bottom.
Yeah, I'm the little ankle biter out there.
The waxing gibbous moon tonight. Wow, it was
Isn't
gorgeous,
that something
clear
else?
evening.
What a great shot. You know, there's supposed to be an eclipse next week.
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe it's a solar eclipse, and then the week after that, a lunar eclipse. So you can expect all the mystics to be out there pretty crazy for
Absolutely.
the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Kids, the school kids, they go crazy during the full moon.
But I'm totally one of those people. I go out there with the glasses, the tinfoil hat. I'm looking at the moon. I'm all about it.
All right, so another corner kick coming. San Antonio's had a couple opportunities here. We saw a couple served long and through the box. The last, they took a chance to put it on the ground. This one, nothing doing. That ball intercepted. Trying to beat the defense there. The challenge is in the box. The whistle is blown. So San Antonio will have an excellent opportunity to try to score the first goal of the match.
Man, that's really unfortunate for Colorado Springs. They put in so much work only to give up somewhat of a silly foul here in the box. Let's look back at it. I believe that this is Jorge Hernandez going in, and yet gets a nice big clip right into the ankles, and you just can't do that when someone's going to goal.
I was watching your reaction on that ball when it was coming out. It looked like a pretty bold challenge from behind. Didn't get anybody, but then the defensive deflection allowed San Antonio to keep the pressure off, and it was a race to the ball that then Hernandez won and has earned his team an opportunity to.
And I feel like that's the identity and culture piece that the old San Antonio FC has brought into this new team, is that be relentless, force turnovers and key spots. And if you start picking up on little bits of weaknesses, you can find those. I think that's kind of what happened here, and then a tough foul to go with it.
Trying to get everything sorted out on the pitch before Agudelo will place the ball down. Take his chance against Christian Herrera. A little bit of gamesmanship. Herrera coming out and slapping at the ball. Will be sent back, so the keeper getting right in the face of Agudelo early on. I love that.
Hey, this is the drama we all live for, right? We got to spice it up a bit out here.
Juan Agudelo.
Agudelo had a goal versus Loudon in that first game. You can see why they're relying on him here.
Ready to go against Christian Herrera in goal. Can San Antonio net the first of the contest? Good save by Herrera. Jumps to the left. The big paw pushes it out.
Great work from Herrera. I mean, next level stuff there.
A golden opportunity for San Antonio, but the goalkeeper comes up big.
He does a stutter step. He's trying to commit him another way. He just doesn't give enough power into that far post either. Maybe try to almost pull a Panenka, realized he wasn't going to get it. And that's what happens. Sometimes you just got to commit to a corner, you know? Don't try to get fancy with it.
So both teams have had solid scoring opportunities, and both goalkeepers have come up big. For San Antonio, it was on the one you just saw earlier on. It was for the Switchbacks throughout the course of play, but 0-0. It remains here in the 36th minute.
Right, and just like that on the other side of the pitch. But I will say I've been there. You're at the PK line, you miss it, you go to bed thinking about it. You just got to get back up, do it again the next time, and put it away the next time.
Nightmares of missed PKs.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
a soccer memoir to be written.
It
right
should
there.
be, yeah. Anxiety Dreams 101.
Another corner coming, this one from the left side, and easily clipped out.
Some good defending.
Yeah, race to the ball. Hernandez had some speed. The goal is wide open, at least was momentarily before the whistle. Medaille stops play.
In week Foster, the guy who turned on the Jets to get there. Great stuff. And that's exactly why you got to be touch tight with him. You just can't take your eyes off him.
This match has opened up a little bit. A little more space, it feels like, for both teams, or maybe that's fatigue. It's flown a little bit more.
Right. It might be that, you know, the final 10, 15 minutes, get an uptick in urgency. I don't know if that layoff was intentional, but it was nice. Looking probably for a service in. At this point, it's a little stagnant. They got to move it back, do something else. Once you get your back line set, then it's going to be tough to get anything off it. It's going to feel like a corner again.
It's good defense by Hanyu Yosuke. Hanya, we saw earlier, taken to the ground, that earned a yellow card. Whistle there. Fans didn't like it. They wanted one to reciprocate, but nothing doing.
No, I thought that was great quality defending. By all means, lay yourself out if you have to. Go for the slide tackle. It looked clean to me. You know, typically coaches will say if you have to slide tackle or lay yourself out, you're already a couple steps behind. But when in doubt, lay yourself out, right?
Here's another, memoir of a defender.
Yeah.
Herrera tried to serve the ball in, who's had a good opening half.
Good read from Agudelo.
Fighting to gain possession as the ball was bouncing around. Felt like San Antonio could get something moving forward, but just caught up. It looked like Agudelo momentarily, and that ball just out of his reach.
Right.
Maybe it was out of bounds.
Excuse me, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but looked like a bit of a tiki-taka there, but the fatigue is setting in. A little bit of overpassing. You can see they're struggling again to get services off. Well, maybe you pinpointed it there, Tyler. You need some fitness.
So when you're here 39th minute, knowing that, hey, your fatigue may be a factor, and mentally it's try to get into the locker room, but you want to minimize and not make a mistake that's going to cost you.
Right, exactly, which means make a silly foul that's not going to cost you a goal, and try to get a water break out of it. You know, when you move into the summer months, you get a quarterly break, and so that's nice. That's really changed the game of soccer, just getting to have an extra timeout to talk to coach, get a swig of water, and then get back at it.
To your point earlier, we've seen a lot of movement up the right side for San Antonio, and you said maybe you'll switch it up.
Right.
So maybe taking heed to that. Is this play coming from the left?
And it also feels different up the left versus up the right. And I think a lot of that is Jorge Hernandez is over on the left. He likes to dribble. He likes those driven vertical passes. And then you have Hawkinson on the right. He wants to place it in on an aerial ball, chip in. It's just two different styles. And so you're getting two different things on either side.
Yeah,
not
Hawkinson
a bad thing.
Feels like maybe he's going to fight for that space and attracting a little more that defensive pressure over there, whereas Hernandez can move a little bit more and utilize the handle. You see the trio of defenders there. The whistle is blown after the pass was in.
Calling it out of bounds there.
It was Agudelo that was working with the trio of blue-clad defenders. I like that blue for Colorado Springs.
That is a pretty blue, kind of like a glacier blue. Maybe they were inspired by the Colorado mountains. Who knows?
Colorado sky.
Yeah. It's my favorite thing about a new soccer season, whether it's MLS or USL Championship. It's the kits.
Oh, yeah.
There's some fire kits. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
of course, the national teams all are bringing out their best stuff. Mexico's jersey looks really nice.
It's a great way to get the fans, get a new kit. But, hey, I will happily oblige. The design team does a good job.
Heck yeah. There's a big battle over if it's Adidas or Nike who has the best kits.
Ugh.
For me, it's Adidas.
Left side once again is San Antonio trying to walk out of this half with the goal. Had a excellent opportunity on the PK, but the save by Herrera. Switchbacks had a good chance themselves earlier on. Kenzie Harmon had a clean look from about 10 yards outside the box and put some heat on it.
Some quality defending there from Carter Manley. I always hold my breath anytime.
Nearly a turnover. Wow. Herrera was dancing with it right in front of Lacey, and Lacey nearly swiped the keeper. Does pressure enough to keep the ball down here, but that would have been so costly.
Great stuff. Talk about a relentless mentality. This guy has gas in the tank today. Really testing the keep back there.
A grapple in the box. The ball eventually cleared out. There's a player laying face down, sprawled on the pitch. Is all right, getting helped up. Herman by his teammate.
Again, I think, you know, of course, yeah, it is terrible to get body checked and laid out, but also gives everyone a chance to take a breath and a breather, to talk it out. Got only a few more minutes to go, so what needs to happen? But let's look at that scuffle in the box here. So going at it, of course, Jorge Hernandez dancing around the ball. And I'm surprised they didn't call that there.
Well, if anything, you know, Hernandez went in, I believe it was Yosuke Hanya, yeah, that was there defensively, and Stout held his ground and said, well, if you want to go this way, you're going to have to go right through me. And
yeah, and that's exactly why I'll never be a referee, Tyler.
Yeah.
I'm going to let them make that call. I don't think I could live with the hate from both sides.
Well, one, if it's
indefinitely.
maybe 10 yards this way to the left, that it's a whistle, but given
right.
where it was,
Right.
going to have to earn it a little bit more.
All right, was he running through him? Was he holding his own? It's hard to say.
So Herrera will gather his team.
It's a good win from Mitchell Tainer there. And a solid recovery, and just like that, they reset.
Yeah, Colorado Springs has had the ball down in the attacking third, but really since we saw the excellent shot on goal, nothing super threatening. A couple corner kicks on both sides, but other than that, not a ton of buildup.
Right. You can see they're trying to be a patient team. They're trying to find ways in between the seams, but you can play slow while also having pace as well.
Good tap to get by the defender. Serve the ball through, bouncing around. Herrera keeps enough on it. It stays out. The defender is there for the switchbacks. Ball is still in the air. San Antonio had two, maybe three excellent opportunities, but could not capitalize. Herrera was trying to find the ball as the switchbacks switch back to the other side quickly as a challenge in the box.
My jaw is still on the ground from that last, and then I cannot believe they didn't call that a red, because they called that, or excuse me, not a penalty, because they called the same thing on Jorge on the other side. So
I said this match has opened up. It has. It looks like now the ball is bouncing back and forth.
It feels like basketball, doesn't it?
Wow. Yeah, fast breaking on both sides, but it was a defender that was in the box in the space of Herrera that just so happened to be positioned correctly. Otherwise, this would have been a 1-0 contest on that sequence.
It almost looked like at one point they kind of stopped to look to see if the ref was going to call something. Maybe someone had a handball. I don't know, but
at the end, it looked like San Antonio was really questioning as to where the ball had hit. Switchbacks defender is this ball into the fun seats.
That's a miss there, but I love seeing attackers take that one-touch hit off a bounce, because when it lands in that goal, man, talk about dopamine and all the endorphins for all these fans out here. Love to see a goal like that. And if you're a coach, you love to see your guys
so
taking
pretty.
one-touch hits. Yeah. Because that a lot of times that's all you get is that one-touch hit. You don't get 2 or 3 touches.
That balance between patience and urgency.
It's a fine line.
4 minutes added to this opening half that has seen some good action. No goal scoring yet, but we've had plenty to watch, and plenty to break down at half. Scoring-wise opportunities for both teams. But good saves we've seen from both goalkeepers.
And it's felt like a pretty clean game. Yeah, there's some chippiness. That's to be expected, but nothing too ugly. Quality stuff from Carter Manley. That's why they brought him back. He's able to read the ball, distributes well. Just really quality guy.
Trying to work the ball down to Ronaldo Damas, the lone forward on the starting lineup for Colorado Springs.
That's what I want to see right there. Coming from the center backs to the center striker. See how different that approach was versus what they've been doing this whole half, going up the flanks and distributing the same exact thing over and over.
Yeah, and it didn't feel as if they needed to earn and fight for that space.
Right.
Much so.
Right, they weren't expecting it. I think that's really the mark of a quality team. And a lot of times you don't really get that unless the players have played together for a while. That kind of movement, the ability to switch it up on the fly, on their own. Because, you know, coach can be saying something over here, but all 11 have to be on the same page. That's the tough part.
All 11 have to be able to hear it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Or just read it,
Yeah,
you know?
you talk about that communication, patterns, movement, chemistry. Those are all things early on. Tough decision here for goalkeeper is rattling into the advertisement banner.
Malik Foster, the guy we talked about.
Couldn't quite get there, and there was nothing doing defensively. Cisniaga had to make a call. He did, as that whistle will call the opening half. That's seen action going back and forth. Good chances for both teams, but no goal yet.
Right, no goal yet. Good fight, and you know they're kicking themselves over that last PK miss, but a chance to do it all over again here in the 45.
So we will take a break, come back, and we'll break down what we saw in this opening half, third match of this season. Good action, but no goal scoring. Yeah.
Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart.
Wherever or whenever you're in need, the right heart specialist is within reach with our extensive cardiovascular network. Learn more now about our comprehensive heart care.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. San Antonio. You're invited to sing a song all night long. For the first time ever, Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire together in one magical night you don't want to miss. Frost Bank Center, June 4th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Sarah needed a financial institution that believes in the people they serve. She wanted to be part of a community of savers and borrowers built from a concern for one another, not shareholders. A credit union that offers sensible tools that put people in control of their financial health. So Sarah joined Credit Human, a financial partner for all of her ups and downs, wins and losses, work days, weekends, and game nights. Go, Sarah, go. Credit Human, a federal credit union.
What would you do if you won a big jackpot? Buy a new car. Take a vacation. Pay off your house. Turn your dreams into reality at Texas' premier entertainment destination. Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel in Eagle Pass, Texas.
You'll get it done.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
You've given us a foundation to be proud of. We build on this now. This is it now, gents. This is us from now on.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Yeah, we running the game. We're coming in strong, and you will not forget it. We're here to take you on, and we can fight and we defend it. We never looking back, we focused on the road. We didn't come to play, and now we never let it go. Yeah, we want to take it higher.
Follow up in! Louisville level in the 70th. He puts it in. Indy 11 leads on the road.
Yeah, we want to take it higher.
Looks great.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Hi, sports fans. I'm Jeff Davis. Going head-to-head with insurance companies is no easy game. It requires determination, gamesmanship, and grit. That's why you need Davis Law Firm on your side. With over 25 years' experience, our team of around 150 in 7 Texas cities has a winning track record of verdicts and settlements, many in the millions of dollars. And just like your favorite team, we play to win. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or commercial vehicle accident, call us at 444-4444. So if you want more, call the fours.
Micah Parsons knows a thing or two about teamwork. On the field, he's part of a team dedicated to excellence. And off the field, he's part of the SWBC team, committed to the exact same thing. With a personalized home loan experience to HR expertise and employee benefits for your business, SWBC has a wide range of services for your financial success.
This SWBC team is ready to help you succeed.
A PEO for your business, mortgages for you. SWBC.
3 nuns were driving through Austin and they got a flat tire. They stop in front of a frost bank. Next thing you know, a frost banker walks out and changes their tire? Hold on. This can't be real.
It's a real story.
And the nuns?
Yeah, they weren't even Frost customers.
Dude! You think I can be a nun?
Not a chance, sister.
Order Pizza Hut now and get a free large pizza later. That's a free pizza on your next order. So you can pizza now, then pizza again. Free pizza means your next dinner is covered. Your future self will thank you. Get it while it's hot. Only at Pizza Hut.
Who can tell me what they want to be when they grow up? Rico?
Are you seriously gonna have nachos for all?
Welcome back to Toyota Field, San Antonio, Texas. Third match of the season for both of these teams this young USL Championship season, and it is a 0-0 match as of now. Tyler Denning, Katie Goodman, and we know it's always scrappy when these two teams get together, but both teams with new personnel trying to find their identities. We saw a free-flowing match that had opportunities for both teams, but unfortunately, no goals.
Right, lots of back and forth. You know Marcina isn't too happy about this half going 0-0 right now. Juan Agudelo had a chance. We'll have a look at that in a bit. But really, it's just breaking whatever this is that San Antonio is experiencing in the attacking third, they're struggling to get in. They're struggling to get really clean looks at the goal. It's not like that for the Switchbacks. It's the opposite, actually. They have all the looks, and they're not putting them away. But for San Antonio FC, yeah, they've had some stuff going on. Most of it is brunt force, physicality, and you got to think, in what other ways can they get a little more creative? We saw some stuff at the very end there. They were starting to move through the middle, change things up a bit, and I bet you'll probably see a lot more of that in the second half.
Yeah, anytime you do enough work to earn yourself a PK, you want to capitalize on that. It was Agudelo that had the opportunity but could not convert. It was off of this sequence. It was pushing forward Hernandez that was clipped to the ground, but then some gamesmanship. Saw Herrera come out, and then the stutter step, and just a good play by the keeper as well.
Right, great stuff from the keeper, just reading the ball and not the body language of the guy taking the shot. That's really good stuff there from him. And then you just saw a lot of that back and forth, and of course the hustle from Cameron Lacey forcing that turnover. Everyone was holding their breath in that moment. Could have been really bad there for the Switchbacks, and then Agudelo coming in here trying to deliver that ball and still denied by Herrera.
This was the sequence that had you agape for a good 30 seconds in terms of what the opportunity was for San Antonio. They've been really good with their ball pressure. They've pushed up. You said you wanted to see more attacking through the middle, but in terms of stylistically the battle, who's winning it right now, San Antonio or Colorado Springs?
Well, San Antonio has maintained possession, quite a bit more possession than the Switchbacks, but I would say the opportunities that Colorado Springs has had have been really good quality stuff. Like, yeah, it's not going on frame, it's not going where you want it to. Sometimes that's just where the chips fall. You know, you're getting the bugs out, the nervousness out. But, you know, if I'm going to say who's playing the most quality stuff, I think Colorado Springs is doing a pretty good job here.
What are the adjustments San Antonio needs to make? What do you think is being talked about in the locker room right now before they come out?
Yeah, continue patience. You know, I think the system that they're running requires a ton of patience, and that's not really something that they operated off last season. It was get it forward quickly, high press, but it's be patient and then move with speed, with pace. So turning on that pace when you need to do it. They're doing a good job. You can see they're implementing some things that they've been coached, but hey, open up some creative freedom for these guys. Let them play the way that they want to play. Let them see the open passing lanes in and go from there. That's the fun part of soccer.
Let's take a look at some of those numbers that you were talking about. Possession-wise, really has been dominated by San Antonio, over 70%.
Again, such a strange thing from last season. They were not a possession team at all whatsoever, so this is strange for me to see here. 70.9%, but of course, proof is in the pudding. You change up the structure of the team, and that's what you're going to get. 8 shots on goal.
Katie, look at the passes. How about the passes? 242 to 99.
Right, that says something, especially passes connected. That's a big marked improvement for them from last season. I think that's a lot of these new guys that they have on the team. They're bringing that quality stuff, and what that tells me is that they can handle things on defense. Defense wins championships, right? So as long as you're not letting up too much, that's great. But they're going to have to start putting stuff away. You're in the USL Championship. You got to score goals. Goals win games. So they're going to have to figure out what's going on up top.
The good news for San Antonio, they have been able to score goals later in second halves. You talked about the mentality. Even though the personnel different, they fight down to the last minute.
Right, and that's to be expected. And, of course, Colorado Springs, they've got that chip on their shoulder. They haven't won since 2019, almost a day to the year in 2019. I would be peeved if I were them. You better make it happen.
You think we see some goals here in the second half?
I better hope. You know, keep things interesting, guys. We want to see all the drama, all the tears and the sweat and the blood, as we were saying. Now, keep things clean and classy.
Yeah, so come on back for that 0-0, but it's been an open, free-flowing game. What do we see in the second half? Come on back.
At HEB, we're proud to offer over 6,000 products grown, harvested, or made by our fellow Texans.
I saw miles and miles of Texas, all the stars up in the sky. I saw miles.
It's all part of our commitment to preserving the future of Texas and supporting our Texas neighbors. Learn more about our sustainability efforts at ourtexasourfuture.com.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. Woo!
Whoa.
Oh, hey.
What do we, Steve?
Winners.
I love you.
Right now, qualified lessees can lease a stylish new 2024 Toyota Camry LE for $259 a month. Offer ends April 1st.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart.
Wherever or whenever you're in need, the right heart specialist is within reach with our extensive cardiovascular network. Learn more now about our comprehensive heart care.
Who can tell me what they want to be when they grow up? Rico?
Are you seriously gonna have nachos for all?
Order Pizza Hut now and get a free large pizza later. That's a free pizza on your next order. So you can pizza now, then pizza again. Free pizza means your next dinner is covered. Your future self will thank you. Get it while it's hot. Only at Pizza Hut.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Yeah.
Sick.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 36 months on a rugged new 2024 Tundra. Offer ends April 1st.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, sports fans. I'm Jeff Davis. Going head-to-head with insurance companies is no easy game. It requires determination, gamesmanship, and grit. That's why you need Davis Law Firm on your side. With over 25 years' experience, our team of around 150 in 7 Texas cities has a winning track record of verdicts and settlements, many in the millions of dollars. And just like your favorite team, we play to win. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or commercial vehicle accident, call us at 444-4444. So if you want more, call.
Shots were 8-4 in favor of San Antonio. The possession very much dominated by San Antonio as well. 3 shots on target. Had the cleanest look outside of the PK was for Kenzie Herman for the Switchbacks, but a good save by Cisniega for San Antonio. His team's hopefully hydrated, snacked, got the legs right.
Right. Hopefully someone drinks some pickle juice so you're not cramping up out here. It's not hot enough really to be cramping up too much. They haven't been playing double game weeks either, so.
Yeah, just the third match of the season. Last time in action since last Saturday for San Antonio FC and for the Switchbacks. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. San Antonio does have points, 2 draws, but the Switchbacks 2 losses. What's at stake in this second half? These teams continue to feel out the season and develop their personalities and styles. Okay, so now the left side will be the other side for us, right?
Yeah.
We got to switch up our
Switcherooski.
But you really like the attacking that San Antonio tried to get going out of the middle.
Right. I thought that was really good stuff there. And essentially what it did is it just switched things up on them at the last minute. They weren't expecting it. They kept expecting the ball to go down the flanks. And so, again, it's just changing up stuff. And the name of this game for San Antonio FC is going to be patience for a while. And, you know, sometimes that's just how it is, especially when you go up against a team like Colorado Springs. They've got 4 guys in the back, and it's just the way that their roster is built out right now, the way that their formation is, makes it difficult to break through that back line. Then you got guys like James Musa, Duke LaCroix, Matt Mahoney, the captain out there, just doing really great stuff on the back line.
Can already hear some of the San Antonio fans giving it to Herrera down in to keep this the harder portion of the pitch to defense in terms of where the fans are here at Toyota Field.
Definitely that 12th man out here, and players have said it time and time again how important it is to have a full crowd, how it makes all the difference, and sometimes it makes them play up too, and then it can even make other teams play up because it's such a vibe.
This has been a miserable place to visit in terms of results on the pitch for Colorado Springs. Their last 10, 8 losses, 10 matches, Katie, just 4 goals scored. Let people at home do the math on that one, but not very good in terms of your goal average. He only scored 2 points across those 10 matches.
Right. Odds not great, but maybe another opportunity here.
Good chance. Could it be the first goal? Just near the post. Punched out. 2 saves. Keeps the sheet clean.
Commentator's curse or not there, but man, right on the money. You know, it's a whole different team, so you know they've got some hope in their chest there. We'll look back at this because, man, it was good. He gets that ball across. That ball should never have gotten across to the 5, but it did. Cisniega's up for the challenge. He makes it happen. What a great guy, man. He comes over to SAFC from Charlotte FC, and almost another one right there.
Another chance that he's just diving. You talked about working the right side. That's where Colorado Springs has had some luck. Cisniega had some help from Manley on that second chance opportunity, but coming out of the locker room, it's been rocket fuel for the Switchbacks in terms of attacking.
That's kind of how you have to be. You have to get San Antonio back on their heels, give them a taste of their own medicine. You know, it's always interesting to see that same high press mentality and some of the same pressing actions with a slightly different attacking plan going on here. But Cisniega, I think he had 9 saves going into this game. He's adding a lot more here tonight. Again, spent some time at Charlotte FC, LAFC, spent some time in Spain and from Mexico City.
Yeah, 5 saves against Tampa, 9 saves on the season. Good enough for second in the USL on this early season. I think there's one thing you know about San Antonio. They're going to keep goal.
Right. And, you know, I think with that being said, knowing you have such a quality guy back there in goal makes probably the coaching staff and everyone on the back line feel comfortable about trying new different things, getting creative out of the back, maybe playing around with it a bit, just because they know he can really handle it.
Yes, Ronaldo!
Colorado Springs, for a team that has scored just 1 goal on the season, too, it does not feel as if they lack in terms of offensive capability. It's just been finishing. And you had made the point. Half, sometimes that's just luck. Bad luck of the bounce, but if you keep creating opportunities, as we've seen them do here early on, then eventually you're going to get one through. That ball does not go out of bounds, so wise to stay with it, no whistle, and clear it out past the midline.
Heck of a hustle there from Ronaldo Damas. You see why he's wearing number 9 and in that number 9 role. Good stuff there. Not only did he save it when it was pretty tight, but he played it back in a really dangerous spot.
San Antonio looking for their first offensive push of the second half.
Silva dos Santos there, last on that ball. Really a true winger. He's a box-to-box guy. As you can see, he's just been responsible for quite a bit this season. Has a goal on the sheet. Did a pretty good job there versus Loudoun United.
That ball right onto the head. It was a head-scratching reaction.
Good stuff from Mitch Tainer. He was there, and I like the way he kind of cushioned the ball to find really the flat part of the forehead. A lot of people will hit at the hairline, and then it pops up over the goal. Instead, he really tried to direct it. Just had some traffic there, couldn't find its way in.
What do soccer players do for their neck exercises?
Oh, man. Lots of bench press was what I used to do. I remember... I've looked back at some college photos. I'm like, dude, where'd that neck come from? That's no one needs spinal injuries, you know. So
good numbers moving forward for the Switchbacks. This one popped in front of net, but just behind. It's been good work up the right side that's led to opportunities. Another one there, but quelled.
Really quality stuff here from Colorado Springs. Tejada takes it in, sends it over, and it's just good stuff there from Cisniega.
Burks there as well defensively for SAFC. There's been one area that has favored Colorado Springs remarkably. It's been the corner kicks thus far in terms of numbers. Ball tapped off the bounce. trying to keep it away from Herman. Ball did go out of bounds.
Jorge Herrera thought it was all his.
Yeah, we were waiting
Not
to
the case.
find out. It was a momentary pause there, beat that play had continued. But a throw in coming for the Switchbacks. Want Tejada to take such. Good touch. Trying to find his teammate. The ball stays alive. But the SAFC defense arises to the occasion once again.
Brick wall defense back there. It's going to be pretty difficult to get in.
Hard to keep up, too. They've had their hands full so far in the second half.
Right. I think they're starting to pick apart how to break through that middle part of the field and start hammering it home. They're getting in to that 18 area pretty easily, not relying too much on the corner. Gotta see who that is down on the pitch right here. It's like Carter Manley. Got a bit of a knock. Again, it's between Tejada and Huerman at the corner. Quincy, a guy that's just been really a key piece for Colorado Springs.
Another corner, this one in tight, skying to grab it, Cisniega.
That's that MLS quality that you're looking for. Those sticky gloves, he can stretch out big, get up high. It looks effortless. And
yeah, a lot of strength to hold in the ball, a lot of core strength required on a play like that.
So many people will punch it out, but it really shows how good you are if you can hang on to it and keep possession.
Switchbacks have very much been the aggressors offensively in this second half. See the ball down on their side of the offensive pitch for the majority of the time. Wrestling back some of that possession that was nearly 70-30 in favor of San Antonio. I don't know if that was an intentional leave, but it was wise. Just sliding to the ground, it stopped the momentum and the rhythm of that attack, but Springs trying to keep with it as Cisniega dives, but that ball harmlessly across the Toyota banner, out of bounds.
What a great look there, though, from Damas to just have the wherewithal of the pitch to switch the ball there into space. Just Hanya had too many jets going. Came to a sliding stop, and then at that point, it's hard to do anything with it. The breakaway is kind of gone.
Yeah, Yosuke Hanya, number 20 in blue. He's really been active tonight. He played an impressive match thus far. Just on the ball, bothering, defensively, offensively. Seen all phases of the game.
Definitely a big signing there for Colorado Springs. He came from Colorado Rapids 2. Played at University of Massachusetts, and one of those guys who can just dribble at people, can throw the defense off balance. That's exactly why Coach Chambers wanted him to be a part of the squad. Don't know how I feel about that.
Ball turned over by San Antonio, but reciprocated, albeit momentarily before that one chested out of bounds, and a quick throw in. So Switchbacks tried to keep the pressure up.
Tejada open wide.
They're calling for it on this far side where Colorado Springs has really found their pressure. It's a service ball right to the midst of Cisniega.
Good collect there from Cisniega. I think they could have just brought that ball all the way over quickly on a driven ball. Maybe the ref was in the way, they didn't feel good about it. But I think that extra pass getting to the other side of the field just might have slowed things down a little bit too much for them there. Here they are again, just slowing things down. Silva calling for it. Silva dos Santos, excuse me.
Will this be a team, San Antonio, that the pace will be preferred to be a little more methodical, slower, early on in the season at least?
I think so. And the thing is with Marcina, he can just change it on a whim if he really wants to, especially since he's trying out this new method. And it pretty much, he was saying, you know, for the most part, doesn't matter what the other team's doing. Pressing actions stay the same. They have stops in place for how to handle different situations, as most teams do, right? I mean, one thing's for sure, certain things about soccer never change, but it's looking like this possession approach.
Trying to earn an opportunity. That ball punched in, stays in. That one hard struck. But the goalkeeping of Christian Herrera once again after the opportunity from Lacey, pressing the action, frustrated with himself.
Man, I would be doing the same. That goalpost saved the day. If you look, it goes just past his leg and ricochets off that side post. Oof, that one hurts, especially they're trying to break that curse of being tied. And it's really important for them moving forward to get a win here this season, for their confidence, just to know what's working or not working. It's going to be a lot of game tape review in this game.
It's one of the toughest places to play in the USL. San Antonio 18-2 and 15 over the last 2 seasons. Just one loss at home over the whole 2023 campaign. And 34 goals with a plus 14 goal differential. So for a group that maybe new to playing here, you want to establish winning at home.
Right. Give the crowd something to talk about for the next game.
And of course, you always want to walk away from a match with points, and that's what San Antonio has done. Their first two draws, but it feels good to get the first win of this season as 2 players down to the pitch. Both with matching reactions almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always got to question it. Let's look back at it and see just how tough this one is. Ooh, that did look like it hurt.
I don't know that it hurt both of them, but it was initiated.
I wouldn't even say that's a foul on either party. It just looks like a misstep, you know.
It was Juan Tejada that had kicked and hurt himself when he contacted Silva.
That hurts. I've been there, to get crunched on the foot, a full step on the foot, or even a nick in the shin. I've been there. It looks like he'll live to see another day.
I think so.
Ref says, come on, move right along. This one's going to go to Hernandez. One of the few set pieces that SAFC has gotten so far in this game. I wonder what they're going to do with it here. Lots of space. Do they slow it down? Do they put it in? Some stuff going on backside. Looks like they slow it down.
Back to Hernandez. It's a low service ball. He had an option there, but dealt with by the defender. 2 bodies falling to the pitch once again. Hernandez is on the contact with Damas.
Almost good ball control there from Foster. Better read from Tainer.
Good swipe by number 100, a.k.a. 3 is a yellow card. First yellow card coming out in the match going against Colorado Springs, as Juan Tejada will earn it.
Yeah, he pulled that yellow out with a quickness long before he even got over there. And I think a part of that was because of that last exchange. He was involved, taking out another guy, stepping on someone's foot, and then here he is again. Silva dos Santos on the ground. Let's look back at this. Oh, that looks like a bit of a slip, a bit of a flop, but can never say. This is a slippery, slidey pitch out here, and people have complained time and time again. Every time they come to SAFC, somebody's slipping somewhere.
Slippery to say.
Yeah, I know. Don't make me say that again. That's for sure. But it kind of makes you want to go down there. You know, like, test out the waters.
I always do, but I don't want to dirty up my kicks. So it's just a quick walk by as we see our first substitution of the match.
Mohamed Abu coming in here, typically one of those guys who always has that starting spot there in the center of the field. Another returner from San Antonio FC.
So those weren't boos you heard. It was boo for Mohamed Abu.
It's a good boo. It's a good boo.
As he swaps out for another Mohamed Omar. What can Abu bring? What's the idea with the substitution? Obviously fresh legs, fresh body, but what can he bring to the pitch for San Antonio?
Good veteran mindset. He's also good at filling the spaces. You know, when someone runs out, he steps in. He just seems to be at the right place at the right time, more defensive minded. And sometimes having a defensive minded center midfielder can help just segue that attack a little bit easier. So surprised to see him sitting out. But again, that's what you do early on in season. You give people a shot and see what happens.
And if there's been one area dramatically different from the first half, it's been the defense of San Antonio with another whistle. Ooh, immediate, the yellow card out, maybe part of that reaction too. Jorge Hernandez challenging the referee immediately, and his teammate now trying to help him out, maybe calm some emotions as Agudelo's over there.
I think these yellows are more so to control the match. We've seen worse in the first half. I mean, fouls just like that in the box, fouls on breakaways, and he's just now really starting to call them. You can see that there. Oh, yeah, hand on the shoulder. So, yeah, anytime someone's got a breakaway and you're going to do that kind of stuff, I don't know about a yellow. But yes, absolutely a foul. I think this is just crowd control.
Hernandez was doing his best baseball umpire saying,
there you go.
You're out of there.
And you're out.
64th minute. Still nothing doing goal scoring wise, but not due to lack of opportunities for either team. We've seen a couple come for Colorado Springs in this second half. They've been the team dictating pace, dictating the attack as a substitution for the Switchbacks now awaits.
It's like Zandy coming in for.
Drum roll.
Drum roll. They originally got the numbers wrong. Looks like Tejada will be coming off here.
The recipient of the yellow card, and the scrappier bodies that we've seen as he receives an ovation from the home crowd as he sits down on Tejada.
Nice big hug there from Coach Chambers and a kiss on the forehead. Probably just doesn't want him getting a double yellow in this game, kind of like Coa Santos has had to sit this one out, had double yellow in that last matchup against Detroit City FC.
So Zach Zandy on.
He's one of those guys who likes to make late runs from the midfield. So kind of interesting to see that they've put him where they've put him.
Katie, if you remember too, it was the last time you and I were here last spring. Same matchup between these two teams, and it was a PK for Zandy that he took. That Farr had that phenomenal save that ended up saving the game for San Antonio.
Right, that Superman save. I can still hear the crowd erupting, really and truly. And that's the kind of stuff that makes the San Antonio fan base such a fan of Jordan Farr. He's really a ninja back there, you know.
That was up, I think at one point later in the year for save of the season.
Yeah.
It was one of the better saves that we saw in the USL all year. So on as a substitution.
I think the best way to describe Farr is acrobatic. Like really and truly, you never know what his body's going to do, but he stops it. That's all that matters.
Fans trying to fire up their squad here on a Saturday night. Beautiful weather for the crowd to take in. There's a crowd of 7,000 plus in the home opener. looking for that first win of the season. 2 draws, but needing to find a goal for such as the ball bouncing around. Lacey fighting for it. Can't come up with the ball.
I don't know if it's because I'm used to seeing this team with the direct style last season, but that felt like much better stuff to me. It felt like better scoring position, quick transition into the attacking third. I think by hanging around in the back and trying to bait the team in, it's easy to read. They know what you're doing. They're just going to sit there and make you stand with the ball.
Also feels as if Colorado Springs may be content to let San Antonio bury the ball in the corner and take their corner kicks. We really haven't seen a ton of opportunity for San Antonio off of corner kicks.
I agree. They haven't been really strong in the box either off corner kicks. No, I mean the one goal, from Carter mainly just came off a ricochet, and he was able to finish it there into the back of the net. But as far as a clear finish from a corner, not seen a ton. And it's so hard to make pure judgments either. It's early. I'm going to say that about 500 times in this broadcast. So it's in.
Hugo Mabongu will be the substitution that comes on for Cameron Lacey as this ball ricochets around and nearly caught the far post. Goes off the defender, so another corner will come for San Antonio.
One thing about Marcina is he is really good with timely substitutions. That substitution in the last game is what helped them to tie it up. Nogueira ended up with a goal after only a minute or so in.
See what Mabongu can do. It's dealt once again with the corner. Does Colorado Springs, but recaptured momentarily, fighting Damas. Hernandez clipped down. Damas is there. Fighting for position. Nice back heel. Served in. Just over the crossbar. It was a beautiful sequence that nearly ended in net.
Hands down the prettiest stuff I've seen out here tonight. Let's look at it, of course. Silva dos Santos brings it back to Jorge Hernandez. He's a guy known for his distribution and just can't quite get on the end of it. There is Agudelo. So close. It was a little bit behind him, it looked like. I mean, that might have been one where you just had to try to get a thigh on it or something. And lots happening there, but woo-wee, this is exactly why Jorge Hernandez is that golden player. Golden playmaker, excuse me.
Yeah, it was a beautiful back heel. Got the ball onto the boot of one of the best assisters in the USL and one of the best to do it in a San Antonio kit. And diving Agudelo just couldn't get the head on it to put it home.
Right, and a lot of that came from that creative sequence between Jorge Hernandez, Kevin Lambert, and then Silva dos Santos, just reading each other. That's the kind of stuff you want to see, really pinging it around and moving it. SAFC would be wise to try to replicate that on the other side. Maybe not as much intuitive connection over there, and maybe that's where the breakdown's coming from. Of course, that's just me picking it apart from a bird's eye view.
You got a good view for you to do that.
Good clean tackle there from Tainer, one of the guys who led the league in clearances at one point. Getting a talking to.
Marcina is hot.
Livid, beyond livid. See this? It looked like a clear tackle, clean tackle. Oh, it was a little bit after the play. He did have to jump over his legs.
Yeah, it was initially clear.
Initially clear, yeah. I think he probably maybe didn't have to lay out on that one. He might have had a nice chance at goal if he had tried to stick with it. Either way, good chance here.
Getting a better angle, but placed right on goal. Fairman, who had the great goal-scoring opportunity earlier, as Hernandez is shoved down and play on, says the referee.
entire stadium in an uproar, understandably so. Let's look at this. Eye on the ball. It's anyone's game here. It looks like a bit of a momentum situation. Your head's a little bit more in front of you than your feet. All you need is a slight nudge to get off balance. It's kind of what happened there. Didn't take much.
The ref will be commended for his efforts from the home crowd.
Quality stuff. I think that's what makes Jorge Hernandez one of the best players. He doesn't even have to look. He just knows where people are. It's the spatial awareness that makes him next level.
Good inner boot by Tainer that pushed that ball out. As San Antonio, no one there to gather in a black uniform.
Great coverage there from Abu. That's exactly why they got him in there.
Pushes it off. Moving up the right-hand side. Trying to beat the defense. Hanya in once again on both sequences, both sides. Number 20 in blue is another substitution awaiting for the Switchbacks. Eden Rocha will be the substitute coming in for Kinsey Herman. Herman had that great strike earlier in terms of pace, but it was just placement as it was stopped by Cisniega that kept a clean sheet thus far. Both goalkeepers have been pretty good tonight.
Oh, they've been great. I mean, pat on the back for both of them, keeping both teams in the game here tonight, but good work from Huerman too. Definitely key guy for them. But it's Aiden Rocha, another new guy there for Colorado Springs. Things heating up here.
Yeah, Hernandez serves it in, turning around, and there is the first goal! Spinning around, keeping it alive, and putting it home. Silva nets it, 1-0 San Antonio.
Hug it out, boys, hug it out, because that was a well-deserved goal. Silva dos Santos, his second goal on the season, second one here at home, and he is turning out to be a really key guy for them. He stays kind of quiet out there on the flank when things start heating up, and then he just seems to always be there, the right place at the right time. Let's have a look back at it.
So Lucas Silva dos Santos in a scrappy play that you see the player that was down on the pitch, the turnaround, the miss hit. Mabongu, but Silva dos Santos will celebrate the goal in the first of the match. Had a feeling it might come on a broken sequence.
I did too, you know, because you can see where both teams, the wheels are turning pretty hard. They're just not quite getting it exactly right. And you know what? A goal's a goal, a win's a win. Get it how you need to get it until you start really ironing things out. Now, the trick here is you still got some time to go. Anything can happen. Can San Antonio FC walk away with a win?
Smoke is out. The drums are beaten. The goal for Silva dos Santos comes in the 74th. Is San Antonio finally able to crack it? The ball that just lingered around. Mabongu had a chance at it. Looked like kind of just spun around like a top. But it did end up on the foot. Silva dos Santos, who capitalizes. We finally have a goal.
Finally a goal. Keep these fans out here nice and happy. I think now is a really good opportunity to just keep pressing forward.
Yep. Mabongu moving forward, tracking the defense. Loses the handle, trying to fight for it back.
silly turnover followed by another silly turnover, but I like the idea that Mbangu had, just getting out there in the corner, getting up, making that defense work to get back. I think so far they've been trying to build out of the back, but what happens when you take it and carry it up top? And I think, you know, he was pretty close there. Something good really could have happened if he just keeps at that.
Good defensive recovery, at least initially. Was Tainer that was there, but the ball bounces in the direction of Foster.
Told you guys to keep an eye on him. Coach knew he had to be touched tight, and the few times that he hasn't, he's been productive. He's had looks at the goal, or he's had a hand in creating things. Look at this. He's getting into position. He knows he's got to get some space. It's just kind of, the ball's kind of going everywhere here, so he continues to stay in that danger zone. Wide open. Almost had it just shy of that low 90.
Yeah, it was Tainer that was brought in that the ball attracted him and had to play that initially, but it freed up Malik Foster. So not due to lack of opportunities for Colorado Springs here tonight. Just one goal on this young season, third match being played.
I'd argue that Malik Foster might be one of the most creative wingers out here in the USL Championship, because he just has such quality. He can get in. Like you can see, he's kind of perched out right there in the center of the field, trying to keep things compact, doing a great job there. And then he just gets out when he needs to. He knows how to bring it in with quality. He finds dangerous spots. You see why he's just so good at what he does.
Yeah, the Captain Mahoney for this group has talked about the frustrating beginning to the season, but feels as if they have plenty to build on. Said they have a young group and obviously still putting things together. It was a long preseason, but have had a lot of chances. Over 20 shots in their opener. They're trying to put them on target. Net. Trying to be better in the two boxes. They've been good in the defensive box tonight, Colorado Springs, and really held their ground. But in the offensive, finishing third, they've had chances, just no finish.
Right, and then when you look at the statistics, the possession, how San Antonio's dominating in possession, I just don't think that's a fair statistic to base this game off of, because again, the few opportunities that the Switchbacks have been not bad at all. I mean, better opportunities than I think from what we have seen from SAFC, aside from that one last try before the goal.
Tainer will just place it back. It was outside of the box, so couldn't scoop it. Cisniega just has to clear it, and the whistle, the foul on San Antonio. Yeah, to your point about possession, I would assume if your identity is, yes, we want to be a possession team, well, sure, then that would be a good metric to track. But if that's not the desire,
it's almost like the flip his script here. The script has flipped. Ugh, tongue-tied. I say the script is flipped because that's kind of how SAFC was last season. You couldn't go by that statistic for them. Instead, now they're working through possession.
Mbangu has been up top, kind of that lead point of the spear on the attack for San Antonio moving forward. That one's off the defender. Amadelo that trying to push the action. Excuse me, Hawkinson, number 7, not 17.
Yeah, Hawkinson again, another guy who's everywhere, and Hugo has done such a great job filling in there for Cameron Lacey. That guy just had an engine that didn't stop, and when you throw in another guy, that's clearly the deal here. You want that striker running, pushing, aggression. He's doing a good job.
All right, what should San Antonio do with their corners?
That's not a bad idea. If you can hold on to it just like he did there and then have it one touch.
Yep, bouncing around, trying to get a cleaner look from the front of the goal rather than, I ask you that because it's just been so many service balls in the air that Colorado Springs seems to have dealt with easily tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's the tough thing about corners. You got to switch it up. If you put it in the air all the time, it's just any man's ball. Unless you have some towering, huge guy out there who can handle things. Sometimes that's Mitch. Sometimes Kendall Burks, depending on who you've got over there, who's a nice tall guy.
Out here?
Yeah, Wimby. That's who we need. You know, Wimby used to be a keeper at one point.
That would make sense.
Growing up. Right. I mean, he doesn't have to move. You know, just open up your wingspan and you got it covered.
You can serve it up to air that nobody else can get to. What does San Antonio have here? That going well across. Stays in bounds. Possession to Colorado Springs.
Jeremy Sohan also played soccer. Every now and then you'll see him dribbling the basketball on the court.
I don't know if he'd want to mess up the hair.
Oh, yeah.
It would depend on what the dye job was and how recent.
Right.
And you may end up with a blonde ball.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of the dye left over. Or a pink ball. Yeah, I think he's going with pink.
It's a good piece for your next sideline report if you got to do one, what the hair color and why.
Yeah. This is
how does he choose?
Yeah. What's the creative process behind the hair? First let's take a look at this yellow card here.
Talk colors. Here is a yellow card tugging at the jersey, just trying to limit the movement.
100% intentional, not trying to let that breakaway happen. I think that's a fair foul. I'd be happy with that if I'm a coach.
Goes on Silva dos Santos, the goal scorer. The goal came in the 74th minute. Our first of the match. Either side. San Antonio trying to keep up their unblemished record here at Toyota Field against Colorado Springs over the years.
It's quality clearance and a quality drive here. See, Hugo's been tasked with stretching the field. Each time running to that right corner. But also great forcing from the defense. They kind of force him into that spot too. So.
Mabagu's brought a good element to the attack for San Antonio. Has been able to get up out front. This ball, good defense to just snake right in front of it. Was nearly on the boot of a Switchbacks player right in front of Cisniega. Did you see who it was defensively?
Right, and that was Kevin Lambert sneaking back there. He comes over from Phoenix Rising. He's actually on the Jamaican national team too, has 27 caps there. And
number 27.
Number 27, 27 caps, must be something to it.
Yeah, good defense there to minimize what could have been a really good scoring threat. Turnover after the throw in is San Antonio will clear. We're into the 85th minute. You had made the point after the goal 10 minutes ago plus for San Antonio what they wanted to do to keep the pressure up. What have you seen since the goal?
I've seen a lot of good stuff here from San Antonio. It feels a little different than what we saw in the first half. Things were getting a little stagnant. You can tell they were just trying to figure it out. And sometimes that's the case. You cook it, you bake it, you see who's going to bite on the other team. You see how they're going to handle whatever situation you put them in. And then sometimes you just have to recalibrate and reconsider at the half and bring something different, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here. More creative stuff, tiki-taka type ball moving up the left flank and through the middle, and then of course having Mobangu up here is really good because he is in fact stretching the field, and that's a tough task. It's not reactive, it's more proactive, and I think that makes a difference.
Ball bouncing through and around. A high boot toes it out.
It was looking like some good stuff there for Colorado Springs. Carter Manley just having one heck of a game. He's been there for almost every clearance.
Good tap Try to feed it back in the ball. Out momentarily, San Antonio trying to clear. And up to Hernandez, who shovels it down. The whistle blows. Thought he was onside. I'm not sure what they were looking at there, but it seems some hesitation on both sides that they were anticipating a whistle that was going to come, as it was an odd 2-on-1 advantage.
Oh, he was on the far side.
Yeah,
was
way
off.
back.
Yeah. You gotta sell it, guys. Come on.
Hernandez down and grabbing that left ankle.
There's another yellow.
It was more purple and red sunset tonight, not a yellow.
Yeah.
But it has been a yellow night. That is 5?
Is that? I lost count. It's feeling like Oprah, an Oprah show out here. Yellow
You get a yellow, you get a yellow.
Yeah. Have a look back.
Infraction.
Yeah, it's a hit after the play. Maybe a clip on the ankle. Good to see him popping back up. He's just been getting knocked all over here today.
Pinball. Oh, and a challenge right through the body.
That looked.
Dos Santos was just pushed straight down.
That looks pretty bad. That looked like a forearm into the chest.
Tainer plays it off the head. It was Lambert, the recipient, but turned over. Now Tainer will have to recover. Damas. His teammate deflecting it. Out of bounds, and Cisniega will do the honors.
Both teams doing a pretty good job of when either team gets into the corner, they kind of keep them there. SAFC setting up for a nice big hit from Cisniega.
Cisniega content to take all the time.
Yeah, run that clock down.
Play the ball out as we approach the 90th minute. See how much time is put on for stoppage. Mendez patiently probing forward.
Really good defense there. Duke Pro. The clock, excuse me.
Wow. Sliding to keep that ball out.
Oh, excuse me, that was Matt Mahoney, the captain. Good stuff.
Ball right on goal and stepping through. There it is! 2-0. Mabangu been leading the charge in these late minutes after the substitution, and that one should put it out of reach.
You know, it really only felt like a matter of time for Hugo Mabangu. I mean, good stuff there from him. He's been leading the charge, as you say, stretching the field, just waiting to pick it off. And that's a fun thing about this early season soccer here, is everyone's gunning for that starting spot. He might have just made a really solid case for himself. Let's have a look back at it. Agudelo taking the drive, finding the seam. It gets picked up by the defense, but then Hugo's there to finish the job. It's great.
I don't think Agudelo's going to get an assist on that, but he should, because he attracted the defender that then freed up Mabangu. But Mabangu's come in with great minutes off of the bench and has really sparked up at the top, but good work by the two, and in extra time with 5 put on the clock. San Antonio now has their 6th goal of the season, their 2nd of this match, and a now healthy lead with just a couple minutes left.
Yeah, Agudelo should get points for sacrificing his body on that one, just taking the hit. But all good stuff.
Ooh. Contact, both going for that one. Ball taken up high as Hernandez will work it down and wait for his boys.
Devin Lambert down on the field. You know, you can tell when they get hit and it really hurts. They don't bounce back up when there's a counter.
Cisniega out from goal to check on his teammate. Kevin Lambert, who's shaking it off.
God, it's like Jorge Hernandez down over there by the ref as well. Taking a bit of a siesta before he has to get back at it. Well deserved, I'd say. He's put in some serious work here.
San Antonio looking to put a bow on their first win of the season. It's been 2 draws to kick off this young campaign. Second match that they're playing here at the friendly confines of Toyota Field, a place where they have been so good over the years, but looking to get into the win column. Silva dos Santos 74th, and then Mabongu in the 90th. Wasn't due to the lack of opportunities for Colorado Springs. They came out, were very much the aggressor in the opening stages in about the first 10 minutes of the second half, after the first half was controlled for the most part by San Antonio. Opportunities for the Switchbacks, but the Switchbacks, a young team, new players, finding their identity, coming to a place that has been so hard for their franchise to win at.
Right, and if you notice for SAFC, both of those goals coming from kind of the center of the 18 area, whether it's drawing players in and getting a look at it or picking up the ball. Maybe that's something for them to take away, knowing that's something that works for them there. Try to penetrate more through the middle, create a little chaos there, and I think that they started doing that and started picking up on it and making those changes, and that's the beauty of halftime. They took notes, they executed, and now they just have to keep hanging on to it. They obviously love the late goals. They might just be that team this season.
Yeah, you tune in, you're going to want to watch us throughout the entirety to keep you entertained. But, you know, from 75 on, it feels like that's really the action. A turnover. Numbers for San Antonio. Can they make it 3? Agudelo.
This is really looking like some of San Antonio's better ball. I know that was a miss, but got into a really solid scoring position. And if you're Marcina, that's exactly what you want to start picking up right now. And, you know, as a coach, it's interesting because, of course, you always want early goals, but it's nice to be able to depend on a team who can stick it out for the full 90 plus and make it happen.
Little bit of pushing after dealing with one another all night. The emotions boiling over. Tainer for SAFC and Ronaldo Damas for Colorado Springs.
Tainer saying, boundaries, man. I've got boundaries.
Yeah, he said,
physically push yours.
I'm number
away.
100 now. Number 101, honored earlier, played his 100th match for San Antonio in his last, and tonight 101, but receiving a commemorative jersey of the number 100. I don't think they'll let him wear it throughout the match. Right?
Boo. I think that'd be pretty cool, but hey, man.
I think if you play 100, you should be able to wear it.
Yeah.
Body's falling to the pitch now, is just trying to get across the finish line.
Did he just throw that in from behind the bench? He didn't even make his way onto the field. He threw that ball in from behind the bench. I love it. I love to see it. I mean, why waste another second?
Just trying to extract any last second, any ounce of time. As the Switchbacks may not walk out of here with a point, but a valiant effort by the visitors in a scrappy match that San Antonio was able to capitalize in the later stages and get their first win of this young season.
Right, we have to look at these 2 goals that happened here in the final moments. Such good stuff here from San Antonio FC. We got that distribution from Hernandez, Mambonge, and then Silva dos Santos is the one who finishes the job, gets it done. He says, everyone calm down, check it out. We've got more to come. And then in that 91st minute, it's Agudelo who brings that pressure in, opens things up there for Hugo, who finishes the job. And like you said, Tyler, it just seemed like only a matter of time there for Hugo, and just great stuff there in those final minutes. I think that's a final 15-20 that Marcina can take into the next game and really try to build off of.
So now 7 consecutive defeats San Antonio has handed to Colorado Springs. SAFC moves to 1-0-2, gets their first win on the season. Silva dos Santos, Mabangu, your goal scorers. San Antonio victorious 2-0 from our partner Katie Goodman, our whole crew, Tyler Denning. Good night from San Antonio.